Now at 8:17 on WMAL is Ben Jealous. He's heading up the Ben Sanders campaign in Maryland. Of course, primary day here in Maryland, so all eyes are on the Democrats as well as the Republicans. And also, by the way, Ben Jealous, former president of the NAACP. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Jealous.
It is good to be here. It's good to be here.
So tell me about Bernie Sanders' prospects in Maryland, because conventional wisdom inside the Beltway suggests that this has always been a very strong Clinton state.
Look, this is a very strong Clinton state. Absolutely. With that said, I think we will do much better here than we've done, frankly, south of the Mason-Dixon. And we will pick up more delegates than people thought possible, 6-8 weeks ago. I mean, we've run a very strong campaign, and our goal here, of course, at the end of the day, is to pick up as many delegates, as many votes as possible, so that we go into this. We head towards June 7th in as strong a position as possible.
Right.
For this campaign, it will really all come down to the showdown in California. Okay. If you look beyond Maryland tonight, we may surprise people in Pennsylvania. We may surprise them in Connecticut with actual wins. But I think here in Maryland, we will surprise people with how strong we finish. I mean, Clinton, as you know, was supposed to have this sewn up months ago, and it just hasn't happened.
And if I may, after California, of course, you're going to head to Philadelphia for the convention. And, there's a lot of talk about a floor fight and a contested convention on the Republican side. But when you look at the Democrats and you look at those superdelegates, all, higher ups, party cronies, all pretty much lining up for Hillary Clinton. I mean, is it fair to say, Ben Jealous, that the Democrat side is sort of rigged for Hillary?
Well, look, I think it's bad form, and I really doubt that in future years we will see superdelegates do what they did this year and come out months in advance of the primaries talking about, who had their support. The reality is that all of them are rooted in states, and they need to respect the voters in their state. We're called the Democratic Party for a reason, which is that we actually believe in democracy. And it's been a bit profane. It was profane in 2008, but they all ultimately switched and caught up with the popular vote. This year, some of them seem like they're intent on digging in their heels no matter what. And that leaves a lot of Democrats with a sick feeling in their stomach. So I think you're going to see a real reform of the superdelegate system. You might recall, 30 years ago almost, 1988, there were real reforms of the superdelegate process, and then it was undone just a couple of years later. The folks who are in power, the establishment likes to hold on to their power no matter what. But they're going to get a real challenge this year, no matter who ends up winning the most earned delegates. And that's the important thing to keep in mind. Right now, this is all about who gets the most pledged delegates, who gets the most non-superdelegate delegates, because neither one of these candidates is going to cinch it up. We've been so strong that Hillary has no way of getting to the majority needed to sew it up without superdelegates, just as we don't. And that's why this will go down through California, and that's why, frankly, picking up every delegate we can here in Maryland today will be so important. And like I said, we will pick up more than anybody thought was possible just even 3 or 4 weeks ago.
But the conventional wisdom is that Hillary Clinton is going to be able to cinch this up ere long, and that Bernie, the path for Bernie is really, really difficult. And so is the whole strategy now of the Bernie Sanders campaign, gather as many delegates as you can, stay in the race, and hope for a Hillary Clinton meltdown, maybe in the form of some kind of indictment regarding the email scandal?
Look, we would never hope for that meltdown, and it's we frankly have stayed away from talking about the possibility. Certainly, lots of other folks are out there talking about it, but the reality is that we've always had a steep path. They have told us that our campaign was a joke from the very beginning. They told us that Hillary would win in a walk from the very beginning. None of those predict. And every week that I've been in a different state for Bernie Sanders. Now, of course, I'm back home in Maryland, but all the other states I've been in were supposed to be the week that we were done, that we were finished, that they would wipe the floor with us, and it's never quite happened. And now we're in a place where the only way that she can get to a majority is with super delegates, and it's the same. It's the same for us. We're going to fight for every delegate we can possibly get tonight here in Maryland. We'll do what we do and show up at the state convention and fight for as many as we can get there. And we still see a path at this point to exceeding her in pledged delegates by the time that we get through California. So at the end of the day, We will do this year what Hillary Clinton did in 2008. We will fight until the very end.
I have one more question that has to do with, what's likely to happen to the Bernie supporters. I mean, they are very loyal, and they're very motivated, and they're very energized, and they love Bernie Sanders. I've been to some of the rallies. I've witnessed it firsthand. And I'm wondering, they don't seem to have any enthusiasm whatsoever for Hillary Clinton. Do you wonder what will happen to those people who have been so enthusiastic in their support of Bernie Sanders if indeed Hillary does clinch the nomination? Will they support the Democratic nominee, or are they going to sit on their hands, as I suspect?
Look, I think most of them will support the Democratic nominee, but you can't really control activists, and especially you can't control young activists. You can only lead them, and she will have to step up and be willing to lead the activist wing of our party should she get the nomination. And she frankly has done had a lot of faux pas that weren't necessary that will make that tough. The insulting repeatedly of Black Lives Matter activists by her down Miss Ashley, in the South Carolina primary, Bill in the Pennsylvania primary, the insulting of the Greenpeace activists. All those things make it hard for her to be trusted by the activist wing of her party, and she's going to have to actually step up, frankly, apologize and shift and show that she is committed to being a true progressive. When you're out there talking about a $12 minimum wage, when the base of the party is demanding 15, frankly, you're going to have to change key parts of your platform if you want to lead the activist wing of this party.
I've only got 30 seconds left, Ben Jealous, but you're a prominent African-American, obviously a president of NAACP here in Maryland. I'd love for you to chime in on the Donna Edwards, Chris Van Hollen race in Maryland today in that primary. We're almost out of time.
Yeah, sure. And real quick, I'm the former national president and CEO of the association, but the Donna has my backing, frankly, because she's the only one who stood up to these bad trade deals. Chris is a great guy. He's a friend, but on trade, we're on opposite sides. He's always in a small group, about 30 Democrats who signed up with the Republicans, and these trade deals have gutted cities like Baltimore, where my family's from. And so it's just, given the choice, Donna has won my vote.
Thank you, sir. Marylander Ben Jealous here on Maryland
We appreciate you joining us.
8:24 on WMAL Traffic and Weather in 1 minute.
These guys.
105.9 FM and AM 630.
They speak the truth.
Washington's Mall.
Straightforward.
WMAL.
Where Washington comes to talk.